Welcome to another Tom and Shane podcast for small business. We're happy to have you here with us today. Thanks very much. If you're new to the channel, by all means, stick around and we'll try and teach you some things about small business as we go through the day. Today, we're going to talk about top 4 ways to build your small business. Top 4 ways to build your small business. And we're going to do that with how smart marketing builds small businesses. That's going to be our go-to topic today as we go through the podcast today. So we appreciate you joining in with us, and I should say, easy for me to say, huh? All right. Well, when we talk about marketing, marketing is kind of a complicated topic. In some cases, because marketing entails a whole bunch of stuff. It's a little bit of everything is in marketing. So we've got all these things we've got to think about. But the one thing that we want to concentrate on today is that a successful marketing plan must do 4 things. Now, a marketing plan is about 1/3 of your business plan. 1/3 is the structure of your business and how it's going to run. Second is your financials, how you're going to finance the business, how you're going to do all those things. And the third part is marketing and advertising and all of that part. So that's what we want to talk about today. And we want to talk about 4 things that a good marketing plan has to do. And the first one is probably the toughest for any small business, or particularly for a startup business. And that is your target market. Who are the people most likely to buy your product or service? Who are the folks that are going to keep the doors open and call on you on a regular basis at your business or your service or whatever it is that you happen to have? The problem that new businesses run into is that they think, well, I like my business. I like this radio station. I like that newspaper. I like that TV channel. I like, that magazine, whatever it is. And not all of your market likes the same thing you do. Just because you like the country station, they might like the classical. Or maybe if you like CBS, they like NBC. So finding your target market is probably the hardest part of starting a small business or keeping it going, because people move in and out of town and all of this. And that's one reason why I suggest to all retail businesses, they should have an annual grand opening every single year, because new people move to town. People are going to have to find things, and having a grand opening, it's a few balloons and some cookies. It's maybe a banner you can use over and over, 10th annual grand opening, whatever. So it will pay off for you to do that. So next, we've got top of mind awareness. We've talked about this before on our channel. We've got a podcast on that. And top of mind awareness simply means that when somebody thinks of your product, what do they think of? Does your name pop in their mind if they think landscaper, auto mechanic, bakery, floral shop, attorney, whatever the thing is? Does that pop into your mind? Top of mind awareness. So very important, because that's what you're going to concentrate on your marketing and your advertising, is to make yourself known enough that, oh yeah, I know that jingle, I know that slogan, I know that logo, I know those things, and they're out there enough in front of people that people, when they see that, they, oh yeah, I know who that business is. They may never have been in your business, they may never have talked to you, they may never have bought anything from you, but they know who you are from your advertising and marketing. Next is, we've got some really important things to cover here on this next part. and that is how to position you versus your competition. Now, the people who are going to buy from you, they're out there looking. They're comparing you with your competition. They're looking at reviews of on Yelp or something like that. They're looking for how do you stack up against your competition. And this is where we want to use positioning. Positioning is something that says, hey, positioning means I'm going to separate myself from you. And the most obvious thing that I use to demonstrate this is the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean was Charles Lindbergh. Now, do you know who the second person was? Well, it was Bert Hinkler. Household name, right? Now, do you know the third person who flew solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Amelia Earhart. Now, was Amelia the third person to fly across the Atlantic, or the first what? First woman. Okay. That's what positioning is. It's positioning yourself in a way that your competition is all lumped together over here and you're over here all by yourself. If I said a beer, for example, you might think Budweiser. Well, if should all beers just give up because Budweiser's there? No. Heineken is the top rated or the most popular, I'll get it in a minute, most popular imported beer. Beck's is the best imported German beer. So there's plenty of ways that you can get yourself into these various areas and be successful. So positioning, very important part of your marketing plan is how are you going to separate yourself from your competition. What I did when I started my business, I specialize in businesses in small towns and small businesses. 50 employees or less is my niche. And when you look at the map of the United States, there is an awful lot of small towns and a lot of small businesses and a lot of places with less than 50 employees or even less than 5. So that's how I position myself in the business world. Next, we want to talk about trust and confidence. This is very important because if you can't build trust and confidence with your customers, then you're in real trouble. I mean, that's what brings customers back. That's what makes them come back time after time. That's what also makes them recommend you to their friends and neighbors. And there's nothing more powerful than that. If you can get someone who knows you to recommend, or someone who knows the customer knows to recommend your business to another person, that's gold. That is pure gold. And that's what we want to make sure that that happens. Now, before we get to the best tip I want to give you today, I want to talk about a couple other things. One is that we use Streamline to make these podcasts. And as you can see, we are able to add video, we're able to add still photos, we're able to add graphics, all of that with StreamYard. Our names are there. All of that happens. So it's really great. And there's a free version available. The link to that is in the description down below. So check it out, StreamYard. It's really easy to use. I mean, I can use it. That's how easy it is. That should be a testimonial of it's all by itself. And also, if you're new to the channel and you like what you hear, subscribe and ring the notification bell and like us. Ring the notification bell. You never miss another podcast. Like us and leave a comment. Facebook. YouTube particularly likes that kind of stuff. If you like us and leave a comment and subscribe, of course, on our YouTube channel, and we would appreciate that very much. Also, we're on Patreon. If you'd like to support the show or our channel monetarily, there's a lot of great perks in there. You get my business books. You get one-on-one personal advice from Shane and myself. And if that is valuable to you, then I would suggest you go to the description below and make a commitment to help us with the podcast. So we'd appreciate that very much. All right, our last item that I want to talk about, the best tip of all, I think, is word of mouth is the best possible advertising you could get. There's nothing better than word of mouth, and particularly in a small community or a small neighborhood, there's nothing more powerful than having other people go out and talk about your business, because that is free. That's absolutely free stuff. Boy, you can't get much better than that. So yeah, word of mouth, absolutely, that is the strongest stuff out there. So you certainly want to encourage that. Ask everybody how they heard about you when they come into your store, and keep a record of how people found you, and know when your advertising is working or it isn't. I want to finish up with my 2 rules of advertising. These are 2 ironclad rules of advertising you must adhere to if you want to be successful. The first rule is you never advertise anywhere unless there's at least a 75% expectation that the advertising is going to produce more than it costs. Advertising must be an investment. It cannot be an expense. It must pay for itself. And that's why the target market is so important, that you know your market and where they are and how to reach them, and the right message that they will come in and do business with you, either your product or your service. The second ironclad rule is when logic and emotion come in conflict, emotion always wins. We make emotional decisions, and then we create a logical argument to support that decision. So please make sure that your advertising, marketing messages create an emotional feel for that customer. You're talking to one customer, not a whole town full of people. All you want to do is talk to that one person and convince them that they need your service. They need your product or service. They want it. They've got to have it. It's a benefit to them to have your service day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, whatever. So keep those tips in mind, and we thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next podcast.